she said. I'm not sure I'm in love with you anymore, but I still want us to live together. So I stopped being the man she didn't love and watched her realize too late what she'd thrown away. I'm Nathan. I'm 34, living in Denver. Until recently, I believed I was building a life with Tara, who's 33. We met at a trivia night 4 years ago. Nothing flashy. She laughed at a joke I made about obscure movie quotes. We ended up on the same team, and by the end of the night, we'd already swapped numbers and stories like we'd known each other for years. 2 years in, we moved in together. The apartment wasn't huge, but it was ours. We adopted a cat, Bean, who quickly became the spoiled middle child. We had routines, morning coffee, late-night YouTube spirals, weekend grocery runs where she'd always sneak in some overpriced chocolate. It all felt solid, comfortable. Ours. 2 Sundays ago, she came to me and said, "Can we talk?" I knew something was off immediately. Her voice wasn't cold, just unsure. She sat across from me at the dining table, fingers loosely wrapped around a cup of tea she hadn't touched. She told me she'd been thinking a lot and wanted to be honest. Said she loved me as a person, but she wasn't sure she was in love with me anymore. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just sat there, absorbing it like a punch I should have seen coming. She said she still wanted to live together, that she didn't want to lose everything. Maybe we were more life partners than romantic ones, she offered, like that was supposed to feel better. I nodded slowly, told her I appreciated her honesty and needed time to process. That night, I slept on the couch. Not out of spite, just instinct. It didn't feel right climbing into the same bed with her after that conversation. The next morning, I got up early, made my own breakfast, and skipped the usual good morning kiss. No love you text on my way out the door. She noticed, but didn't say anything. That evening, I told her I'd be moving into the second bedroom, the one we'd used as storage and a makeshift office. She asked if this meant we were breaking up. I said no, we were adjusting, just like she suggested. She blinked, then nodded. No fight. Over the next few days, things started to shift. I stopped buying flowers on Fridays like I used to. No more surprise lunches delivered to her office. When she looked exhausted after work, I didn't offer to rub her feet or draw her a bath. I didn't make her favorite oat milk cappuccino in the morning. I didn't stop loving her. I just stopped doing the little things I used to do for someone who claimed she wasn't in love with me. On Tuesday, she offered to cook dinner. I ate it, thanked her, Venmo's her half the grocery cost, and did the dishes. She looked at me like I'd just spoken a different language, but again, she said nothing. By Thursday, I had moved my things out of our shared bathroom and into the guest one. I canceled all the streaming subscriptions we split. She had the logins anyway. Then I made a shared spreadsheet for expenses. We had always handled money loosely. I covered more because I made more. But roommates don't do that. Roommates split evenly. She didn't question it. Not out loud. But the house felt heavier. Not tense, just different. Like two people waiting for the other to say what they didn't want to hear. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was simply living by her new rules. Friday rolled around. What used to be our sushi night tradition. We'd go to the same place, sit at the same booth, order the same rolls. But this time, she texted me mid-afternoon. Sushi tonight. I stared at it for a second, then replied, I've got dinner with a coworker. Maybe another time. The coworker was Ryan, just a guy from my job, someone Tara never particularly liked. She thought he was loud and a little immature. But he was someone I could talk to, and honestly, I needed that. She texted back, wow, okay, nothing more. That night, I came home to find her curled up on the couch, a half-finished glass of wine next to her, scrolling through old photos of us. Bean was asleep in her lap. She didn't look angry, just confused. Maybe sad. Maybe even lonely. She asked me why I was being so distant. You're acting like a stranger, she said. I didn't raise my voice. I just looked at her and said, I'm not acting like a stranger. I'm acting like someone who respects what you told him. She didn't respond. The next day, Saturday, we barely crossed paths. That night, as I was folding laundry in the guest room, she came in and asked, do you still love me? I didn't hesitate. Yeah, I do. But I'm not going to keep doing all the things that made this a relationship when you've made it clear you're not in it the same way. I wasn't angry. I was tired. Not physically, just emotionally done with trying to perform for someone who couldn't even decide if she wanted to be with me. I'm not punishing you, I added. I'm just adjusting. Sunday, something small but telling happened. Tara got a flat tire on her way back from visiting her mom. She called me, like she would have any other time before. I saw her name flash on my phone and answered. Hey, my tire's flat. Can you come help? She asked. I paused, then replied. You've got AAA, right? Yeah. Call them. That's what they're there for. I wasn't being mean. I was being honest. If I was no longer her partner in the way she wanted, then I wasn't going to keep showing up like one. The silence on the line said more than words could. On Monday, I got a call from her sister, Lauren. Why are you ghosting Tara while still living in the same apartment? She asked, half joking, half serious. I explained the situation, told her what Tara had said to me, how I had simply taken her words seriously and stepped back. Lauren was quiet for a long second. Then she said something that stuck with me. She thought you'd fight for her. And that's when it clicked. Tara didn't want honesty. She wanted reassurance. She wanted me to push back, to throw grand gestures at the wall and beg her to stay. Instead, I respected what she told me. I believed her. I didn't realize I was being tested. I thought we were being real with each other. And apparently, that wasn't the answer she wanted. After that call with Lauren, things made more sense, but not in a comforting way. What I thought was honesty from Tara now felt like a carefully laid trap. She hadn't come to me looking for clarity. She'd come looking for a performance, a test, and I failed it by listening. On Tuesday night, she knocked on my door, the guest room I now used full time. She didn't say much, just walked in slowly and sat beside me. After a minute, she reached for my hand and leaned in, like nothing had changed. I gently pulled back. This doesn't feel right anymore, I said quietly. She looked stunned. Hurt. You're being cold. I kept my voice even. Cold would have been packing my things the moment you told me you weren't in love with me. I didn't. I stayed. I'm still here. But I'm not going to keep doing boyfriend things for someone who doesn't want a boyfriend. She didn't reply, just sat there for a moment, nodded once, and left the room. By Wednesday, she told me she needed space and said maybe we should reevaluate. I told her the door was open. The lease was in my name. She could leave whenever she needed to. There wasn't anger in my tone, just clarity. I wasn't asking her to go. I just wasn't holding her hostage in something she clearly didn't want. That Friday, she posted a vague Instagram story about emotional neglect and feeling invisible in your own home. One of our mutual friends sent it to me with a "What happened?" I didn't explain myself. I didn't defend or blame. I just replied with the screenshot of her original text. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That was all the context I needed. The following Sunday, I went out for groceries like usual. When I got back, her stuff was gone. Some furniture, a few plants, the bookshelf she insisted we build together one chaotic weekend. Bean, thankfully, was still there, curled up by the window like nothing had changed. On the kitchen counter sat a short note. Her handwriting, neat as always. Maybe I made a mistake. No long explanation. No dramatic goodbye. Just that. I haven't reached out. And I don't plan to. Since she left, things have been quiet, but not in a bad way. The apartment feels lighter. I've started cooking again, picked up guitar lessons like I always meant to. I sleep better. Not because I'm over it entirely, but because I'm not stuck in that place of waiting to be chosen. There's no part of me that hates her. No resentment. Just acceptance. She wanted honesty, and I gave her that. I didn't scream. I didn't chase. I didn't try to rewrite what she told me. I respected her words. And in doing that, I found mine again. I don't think she expected that. Maybe she wanted me to prove I cared by refusing to let go. But love isn't about clinging to someone who's halfway out the door. It's about meeting them where they are. And when they step back, you either follow or you finally stop walking in circles. That was my choice.